Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. And welcome. And what a sunny day indeed it is. In fact, I am looking forward to an interview that a philosopher and psychologist just wrote about be the sun and not the salt. And with a day like today, I think it'd be appropriate if I could get him on today. But it ain't going to happen. What is going to happen, I'm going to have some really knowledgeable and interesting people on, and staying on theme of the bright side of aging. As you may or may not know, I've been doing this show, how about that? That rhymes. For almost half a century, it seems now. And we try to bring out the positive aspects of aging, and in fact, I'm really excited about possibly having one of the representatives of an organization that I was fortunate enough to see when it's in its birth. It's called SOAR, S-O-A-R, which stands for Society of Active Retirees. Phenomenal group of people, and we have top-notch speakers, and each speaker has got a really interesting way of presenting themselves in terms of how as we retired, as I like to say, you ain't retired, you're refired. So if you would like more information, please copy down my phone number and have a pencil and paper in hand throughout the next hour, because I really spend a lot of time researching people that I feel can be of benefit in your daily activities. My toll-free number is 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. Any of the guests that I have on, or if you just want my advice, since I am now officially a refired person. I'm 84 years old, and I say that not for sympathy. I say that, hey, you can go on in life, be active, and really benefit from the experiences you have. One huge advantage we have as we chronologically age, as I like to say, is that you've had that many more experiences, both the good and the bad. And the truth of it is, you really learn more from the mistakes you've made than the successes that you have. And I try to bring that out. And there are so many exciting opportunities to really use the experiences and share it with other people that are active. The first Wednesday of each month, I co-host a group of people called New Friends. We just get together and schmooze, share our experiences, and share what we're doing about some of the challenges we have as we age. The Caustic Center is located at 11 Mile and Middlebelt, right next to Mercy High School. Phenomenal group of people. All kinds of activities going on. Please stay in touch by way of 888-489-8980, and I can tell you how you can stay active and really be appreciated for the experience you have. And talk about knowledgeable, interesting, and very impressive people. I'm really so happy to have Jim Schuster, who is an elder law attorney. And, you know, you hear elder law, what is all of that about? Believe it or not, well, you're going to have to believe it, it's truth, is that the legal profession has got segments of people that are specialized in certain parts of our legal system. And there's trial attorneys, there's attorneys that just do real estate law. Jim Schuster is so good as an elder law attorney that he was actually head of the Elder Law Attorney Association in Michigan. Is that right, Jim Schuster?
Well, absolutely right, absolutely, Ike, and good to be with you again.
Well, thank you. And I know you are I learned the word yesterday, your epitome of success in terms of legal advice, because although you're not as active as you used to be, you have got the experience really in the whole elder law field. So let's start from scratch, Mr. Jim Schuster. What is elder law in terms of related to the other fields of law?
Oh, sure, yeah. It's kind of an old question, Ike. Matter of fact, in the 90s, about 25 years ago now, I found this field of elder law, and I was, like you're saying, doing this litigation or these traffic stops and, all the little daily things, but I found out I could actually help seniors, elders, with complicated questions regarding, the wills, the probate, but also these benefits that we get, and a lot of people know about Medicare and how confusing it is nowadays with Medicare Advantage and plans and copays, deductibles and limits and who knows what. But today, I'd like to focus on a program that is gaining in popularity, it still has some things that people need to know about before they step into it. Otherwise, they might get into what I call the deal with the devil.
And the devil usually wins.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll quit teasing, and what's that about? Well, there's this program called Medicaid, and really what's becoming more and more popular, it used to be, golly, back around the, as we can say now, the turn of the century, if you needed any help, I mean, if you couldn't get around in a chronic medical condition, well, if you couldn't live in your own home, you had to go to a nursing home. Well, the Medicaid would pay the bill if you qualified. So what have I been working on? Well, once again, this Medicaid waiver program is becoming more and more popular. People say, well, what's this Medicaid waiver? Well, what they'll do is they'll waive the nursing home requirement, and for people who could go to a nursing home, they need a lot of care, Medicaid will bring help in home if you're eligible. And that sounds like a wonderful deal, but here's the devil part of it. Medicaid says, folks, okay, you can apply for this Medicaid waiver program, we'll waive the nursing home, and we'll actually bring help in your home, once again, if you qualify. And let's talk a little bit about qualify. It means you can only have $2,000 in savings, and you don't have enough income to pay for in-home help. Well, like you and I and everybody would say, did you say just $2,000 in savings? And yeah, that's right. Medicaid has that level since about 1980. That's the limit. So one of the things I've been working on lately, what we call public policy, trying to get that raised at least up to $10,000. Because how can you live in your home and only have $2,000 in savings? I mean, below a water pipe or, a leaky roof, and you don't have enough money to fix it. So anyways, I'm trying to work on that. But that's not the deal with the devil. Here's the deal with the devil. Medicaid says, okay, if you only have $2,000 in savings, don't have enough income to pay for in-home help, we will qualify for a Medicaid waiver. We'll waive the nursing home and bring help in home. People say that's just fabulous. God bless. Well, here's the devil part. The other part is they say, we get your home after you die. In other words, you can have your home to live in, but once you pass away, we're taking it. And that's the deal with the devil right there. What Medicaid does is they pretend like it's a loan. So they keep a tally of every dollar and every penny they charge you, and then when you pass away, they present your estate, we call it, estate, with a bill. And oftentimes it's over $60,000, over $100,000. And so the family has to sell the home and give the money to Medicaid. So I'm trying to get, there's a bill in Congress last year that was going to change that. In other words, not just change it, but end it. Well, it didn't go anywhere last Congress, so this year we're waiting for it to be reintroduced again. And when it does, I'll give you a call and say they reintroduced this Stop Medicaid Recoveries Act. We can talk about it then, but it hasn't happened yet. So, okay, well, people say, wait a minute, Jim, you just gave me some real bad news. Here I was all happy about the idea of getting help at home, live in my own home. Now you tell me I'm going to lose my house. I don't want to do that. And so here's the good news of it. So the good news is a lawyer can fix it. You see a lawyer, before you get too far into this Medicaid waiver, the elder law attorney can say, okay, we can prevent that from happening. We can save your house from Medicaid. But the downside is, of course, you got to pay the lawyer some money. And if you only have $2,000 in savings, where are you going to get the money? So that's why elder law attorneys say, well, if you start getting to the point in life where you need help, or if you're a younger person, say in your 60s, and your mom or dad is in their upper 80s, well, hey, it's a good time to see an elder law attorney and get some affairs in order and prevent losing your house to Medicaid. So there's the good news and the bad news, Ike. The good news is you can help in home. Bad news is you can lose your home. The good news, again, is that an elder law attorney can prevent that from happening. The bad news is, again, you got to pay that attorney to make that happen, to protect your home. So that's the wrap right there, Ike.
Right. Well, what about the payment. You have to pay the attorney now. You can't wait until you are able to spread it out, or how does that work? Let's say...
the attorneys, basically, because we're talking Medicaid, and that they say basically all your income has to go for maintaining your home. Will allow that, and paying for your share of care. There's no income left. I mean, let's face it, like, we're talking seniors, not rich people, so what's a good retirement income? $2,000 nowadays? It doesn't go very far.
Right.
So the lawyers say, no, you can't wait to pay me, and sure, some divorce attorneys will put a mortgage on your house, but the law attorneys don't work that way. They say, well, maybe you can get a loan from the kids, and when we save the house, they'll get a little inheritance back.
Now, I'd like for you to give out your number, although I always encourage people to call our toll-free number, because that way I can get a message that's complete. What is your phone number in case people
phone number?
Go ahead.
Sure. A phone number people can call, and we can see what we can do to help out. It's 248-356-3500. That's
248-356-3500 for Jim Schuster. And knowing you don't charge right from the get-go. You do an initial consultation as to...
What we do, here I'll explain the whole process. My legal assistant, Dawn, she covers the phone calls for me. And by the way, she's often busy, so do leave a message. If she doesn't pick up, we'll get back to you within 24 hours. And, we ask, what's it about? We get information because, quite frankly, we don't take care of everything, okay? So we might have to make a referral. And if somebody lives on the far east side or the far west side, well, they want an attorney closer to home. So anyways, we'll talk to any of your listeners. We'll find out what the situation is. Maybe we can help them. Maybe we know somebody who's really good and give them a good helping hand and take care of their situation. So that way they don't have to travel all over the metro area just to see a good attorney.
Now, this may be too open-ended a question, but for people listening, who do you feel is most benefited by finding out more information? Because for some people, it may not be practical. Is there a profile of the type of person that can benefit from what you just described?
Well, the profile person could really help as somebody who's looking at a chronic long-term condition that will require personal assistance, okay? So maybe I'm a husband and my wife has dementia. Maybe I have a heart condition. Well, the chances are my little ticker's going to give out before she does. So I'm thinking that she's going to need help that I can't give her. Or maybe she's going to be needing a lot of help. I mean, I remember my reverse situation, my aunt and uncle. Aunt Sophie one time was awakened at 2 o'clock in the morning by the police in her bedroom. Turns out her husband of over 50 years said there's a strange woman in my house, believe it or not. So, yeah. So that's the kind of, so sometimes those kind of person, if you know they're going to need help or you yourself will need help as, you get farther into the condition, that's the right kind of a elder law situation we're talking about. If you're dealing with Medicare or Medicaid issues, once again, that's elder law. If you're dealing about, let's say, scams or debt, or credit card company, whatever, wants money and don't have it, well, that's a different. Those are different categories. As I'm sure you've said many times in your show, if you feel you've been the victim of some kind of scam or financial abuse, there's the toll-free numbers to call on that. I'll leave that to your ballpark. I don't have them written on my wall.
Yeah, well, actually, that's one of the things that I really admire you about Jim Schuster is the fact that you stay in your own lane, as they say, because knowing the positives and negatives as you age as to what's beneficial for you, you really need somebody who's immersed in that field, and that's why you were the head man for a while back, and as far as I'm concerned, you're still the head man.
Well, thank you. Thank you. As you know, a lot of people, and I recall that you had Queen Elizabeth's phone number on your business card, so you're an important guy.
Yeah, you could be on, but before we take a break, why don't you repeat your phone number twice, and hopefully we can have your knowledge shared by some of the listeners or relatives or friends that at least want to get a second or third opinion, because let's face it, this is a very important part of life. And your phone number is, Mr. Jim Schuster?
248. Yes, sir. 248-356-3500.
All right. And hopefully we can have your advice shared by so many people that are in need. And I look forward to talking to you soon again about what the heck is going on in Lansing. And now with a change of the Democrats in power, probably there's a new tinge of thinking up there. And you can stay right on top of it. Thanks again, Jim Schuster. Right now, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. Please don't go away. Family run for over 88 years, Frentz Hardware has remained family-owned and operated. Frentz Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Frentz Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Frentz Hardware. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. I am really excited about a new sponsor, and that is Memory Health. These are vitamin capsules that you take 3 a day, and it improves your memory. Memory Health has been proven to be scientifically helpful for early stages of Alzheimer's. In fact, it has been claimed that it can even forestall Alzheimer's. Dr. Joel Kahn made this statement: in my more than 30 years of practicing medicine, no other product has ever come close to truly supporting brain health like Memory Health. It's a safe, natural supplement. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980, 888-489-8980. And I hope you still have a pencil and paper in hand. Actually, you can even use a ballpoint pen. If you wish to call 888-489-8980. And tell me some of the issues that you may have. As I mentioned, I've been involved in this field for my professional career, and because I'm a pharmacist, and having had Owl Drugs for probably around 30 years, which we sold to stores, and I'm really proud of a lot of the things that I was able to do when I was in active practice, filling prescriptions. And I kept notes on what people's needs are. When we sold the stores, I decided that I'd try to share my information with people in the best way I could. And radio and TV is where I'm at, and we have a magazine titled Bright Side of Aging, which, if you'd like a copy, we just published a recent copy. It's really a fun type book, very informative, very easy reading, and we have all of the important phone numbers that you may need as you age. For example, we have in there, if you have a concern about fraud, who do you call? What about the reverse mortgages? Who do you feel is most trustworthy? And scams. If you will call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, I'll be glad to send you a free copy out. And because one of our sponsors is Ori Bakery, wonderful, wonderful, sweet place. It's in Livonia, right on Farmington Road, just south of the 96 freeway. Easy to get to. They've got phenomenal prices. And if you're having a party, they can help you in organizing it, as well as give you suggestions of how to make the party sweeter. I try to surround myself with sponsors that I think that will make your life easier, and also more enjoyable. For the information, we have a resource information that is absolutely dynamite. If you have any people that are getting a runaround with some of the voicemail jail systems as we have, by all means, we can help you unravel that. In fact, if you've got a friend that's by themselves and really sort of floundering around, have them or you call. I'll be glad to talk to them, or one of my ambassadors, as I like to call them. I've got some really dynamite seniors who are really devoting the rest of their life after they've had a career and wanting to help other seniors. I'll tell you, one of the biblical philosophies that no matter what religion you practice, I think was best expressed by Maimonides, who was a very wise philosopher. And he said one of the greatest deeds you can accomplish in life is to know that you helped someone else breathe a little bit easier and make their life more pleasant. And I really do this with that same purpose. This is a show that I do to try to connect you not only with myself, but also with different areas that you can enjoy life. And if you want to start a friends group, like I did over at the Caustic Center, 11 Mile in Middlebelt, I'll be glad to help you implement it. You would be amazed how much joy and actual uplift experiences you have in sharing your thoughts and your experiences. I joke about it. Now that I know all of the answers, no one's asking me the questions. So please feel free to call 888-489-8980 with your questions. I'd like to share some other thoughts, but not today, because our segment right now has to be wrapped up, and I don't want to leave the bright side of aging without my favorite parting thought, which is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with a bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like a free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome, and hopefully you're back into the networking circuit. Thank goodness now even Washington is considering, and they may already have done it, that all of the major restrictions of COVID spreading is now sort of been downplayed. Does not mean that we're out of the woods, but we're certainly very close to leading a normal life. And one of the things that I'm really excited about is that I've had numerous calls from our Entrepreneurs Network membership. When, Ike, are we going to meet again in person? Guess what? We are meeting in person. In fact, the last Tuesday of this month, or Wednesday I should say, we meet over at the Grand Tavern. Beautiful restaurant and bar and just an upbeat place. If you are interested in rubbing elbows with other entrepreneurs, we decided to have our meetings in the evenings, and we'll continue having them lunches as well. But right now, our Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan has teamed up with a national organization called Schmooze. And Schmooze, for those of you who are not aware of the Yiddish word, actually means being able to communicate socially as well as professionally in a very pleasant, non-intimidating way. The Grand Tavern is located on Coolidge, just south of Maple, in Troy, Michigan. As always, I like to give out my toll-free number, which is 888-489-8980. That's 888-489-8980. The Grand Tavern is located at 1317 Coolidge Highway, as I mentioned, just south of Maple. And you get a chance to meet really dynamic entrepreneurs, and not only people that are self-employed, but aside from wanting to connect with one another, you'll meet phenomenal business coaches. And one of my joys in having been involved with the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan is that I had the opportunity to meet Matt Jobb. Matt Jobb has had 30-plus years of business leadership experience and over 7 years as a focal point master executive coach. And if you're hearing it for the first time, I hope if you are knowledgeable at all in the entrepreneurial field that you know of Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is a multimillionaire who started out really in Canada, and he is internationally recognized in terms of his knowledge, and one of his main points is the importance of focusing. Most people that go into business are so excited about how much money they may make with an initial idea, but guess what happens? I've seen it happen more times than I can keep track of. They get started and they get off track. You have to stay focused. And Focal Point provides coaching and training services for the challenges in today's business environment. And Matt Jobb is here to share some of his thoughts with us, and actually you'll learn a little bit about a great book that Brian Tracy has sold more than 1.6 million copies, titled Eat That Frog, 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. Hello, Matt Jobb. How are you?
I'm well, Ike. How are you today?
Great. And for those folks that don't know you as well as I do, why don't you share with us your 60-second elevator pitch and who an ideal client might be that you feel you can turn their life around into a positive aspect. Go for it.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, Ike. So I have been very fortunate, as you had mentioned, of having worked as an executive coach here for the last 7.5 years in Michigan with the Focal Point system. So we do help entrepreneurs from startups to exit strategy. So my focus is really building the value of the business, having the entrepreneur work on their business and not in their business. Oftentimes we're caught as an employee of our business, and we don't get a chance to really guide that ship or steer that ship, so to speak. That's where I come in. Now, I'd love to, my big focus is going to be, on exit strategy. How do you transition that business? How do you get a business built and then either sell it, turn it over to your kids, turn it over to employees, transition that business where you get the most value out of it? Even if you have no plan on selling the business, you should build the business as if you were going to sell it, because that's where the value is. That's where the true money and the value of that, your life's work, that's where that comes to fruition. So I know that's not a 60-second elevator pitch, but, and back to the book. The book does give you really good tools and insights on how to really accomplish more in a day. And what I teach a lot of my people is ask yourself just one question. If you do this throughout the day, you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache. Ask one question. As you take a new task on, ask yourself, is this the best use of my time right now? And if you can't answer yes, don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's as simple as that. If you can't say, yes, this is the best use of my time right now, don't do it. So there's a ton of really good things. What I wanted to do, Ike, is offer your team, your listeners, your entrepreneurs network, the ability to get a free Eat That Frog book and other ebooks as well. So if you call my phone number, 734-673-2568, call or text, that's myself, Matt Jobb at 734-673-2568. Call or text today. I'll send you a copy of that book and other wonderful books by Brian Tracy. He's written over 80 books, by the way. All of them are timeless classics.
I know.
How's that for a deal?
Oh, and he's got a phenomenal gift of not only speaking, but in writing. And I've had the pleasure of meeting him in person when he's come to Detroit, and he's truly, the old line that if you're so damn smart, why ain't you rich? He is both.
Yeah, and he's really accessible.
Right.
He really is a nice guy. He believes in giving back.
Right.
So if you ever met him, that's the first thing you learn is that he's just accessible and willing to give his time and his energy to you.
Oh yeah, no, I really enjoyed my visit with him when he was in Detroit doing a seminar. And as far as Matt Jobb's day job, as far as entrepreneurial type people, do you want to walk us through, number one, as to who would you like to target, who do you feel you could help? And number two is if someone calls you, how do you do that initial assessment to see if there's a match between you and them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now I work with busy entrepreneurs who are spending more time in their business than working on the business. So if you're successful, but you just don't have a good work-life balance, you're too busy working, you're 16-hour work days. I mean, I see it all the time. Those are the type of entrepreneurs that I can immediately have an effect on. Those are the type of entrepreneurs that really, I've just done it too many times. I know I can help. The key is where you're putting your focus. Like you said today, it's where are you focusing your time? I can help with that. I can help with the direction of the time, delegation of tasks, and really how to free up your business. So the assessment you're talking about is I do have, usually it's about half an hour to 45 minutes, and it's just a series of questions based on, what I've seen in the past, what I'm very familiar with being able to affect. And if you answer the right questions, within that 30 or 45 minutes, I'll know, and more importantly, you'll know if it's something that is going to be a good fit for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I do guarantee a return on investment. I give them money back guarantee.
Yeah,
I don't take every client.
That's unheard of.
It is unheard of. Yeah. In order to do that, however, I don't just take anybody. We have a conversation. If that conversation looks like it's going to be a good fit, in other words, the gaps are something that I can help you close, then we can engage. If not, I'll help you regardless. I'll try to point you in the right direction. I'll try to give you some free advice, maybe point you to a book or to a particular business coach or consultant that might be able to help you out. And, we'll part as friends.
Is there any particular profession that you feel you're most benefit, or it doesn't matter what type of business you're in? as far as the strategy?
That's a good question, Ike. So I've done a couple of things. Early on, I worked with a lot of real estate agents. And it just seemed to be because that was my very first client, and she received so shocking results from it. I mean, she grew her business 29% the first year, 27% the second year, 30% the third year. You grow year by year by year those type of numbers. You're talking about massive profitability and growth. And she's working less hours. So I did get a lot of business from real estate agents because of that. Now, I have transitioned over, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of manufacturing here in the state of Michigan that needs help. They need assistance. Manufacturing is something in Michigan. We're going to get a bigger call for Michigan companies to provide more manufacturing and more capacity for United States companies. I mean, it's unfortunately the world stage that we're in right now. It's going to be a necessity, and the companies have to be ready for this. So with manufacturing, I think, if you're not at capacity right now, you need to give me a call. Well, if you're at capacity, but you need to grow, give me a call.
And I wondered, is there any particular company that stands out in your mind that you can share as to before Matt Jobb came in and what happened after, aside, as you just mentioned, the real estate business?
I'll give you one anecdote. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So right about the height of COVID, I did a series of workshops and coaching with Carhartt. Carhartt's a local Michigan company here. Wonderful people. You know, we've got offices and facilities all over the world, but I mostly worked with 130, 140 mid-level managers in mostly Kentucky, Michigan, some in Mexico, but mostly the heart and soul was here in the United States. So we went through a series of workshops and a series of one-on-one coaching, and the fruits of that it was amazing. They ended up putting in a new system for hiring and for training and for maintaining retail employees and some of their office and warehouse employees. I was in Boston in January. I went to Boston, decided to stop in the local Carhartt store in Boston, and I got to tell you, it was the best affirmation that I've ever heard. First off, their regional manager was one of my coaching mentees. She had gone through the program. The store manager was in there just completely happy with the transition. They were fully staffed. They had one opening for that whole retail store, and that was only because the person that they called them an assistant supervisor or assistant manager, store lead, that person was out on maternity leave. So they gave her a full year of maternity leave. That was the only opening in the whole store. And they were happy. They were content. They wanted to be there. They were happy to be there. They had people waiting to sign up to come to work at that store. That's a huge transition. So yeah, hire to your culture. Hire, train, maintain the people who want to work for you and with you. Those are the people who are going to stay and share the dream with you.
Well, you know, your offer is phenomenal because a lot of people don't know where to get started. Is that you're willing to have an initial consultation, and having had the opportunity to be with you numerous times, just in talking to you and people describing some of the challenges right then and there, and you give them your advice, they benefit in just that meeting alone. So, and then, like everything else, I don't know of anything in life, you know, when we exercise, you don't do it just once a year. And
right.
And it takes work, and sad part about it is that people want instant success, and there is no such thing as instant success. You have to be knowledgeable, and you're offering free books from one of the most dynamic and successful entrepreneurs, Brian Tracy. So if anyone is interested, of course, I'd like to give out my toll-free number, 888-489-8980. But if you wish to speak to Mr. Matt Jobb in person, why don't you give out your phone number twice? Go for it.
Call or text 734-673-2568. 734-673-2568.
As always, it's a delight to talk to you, and we'll hopefully get more delighted throughout the year with more talks. Have a great day. Thanks for calling in. Right now, we've got a brief break, and we will be right back with some thoughts that I think you might enjoy and be informed about. So don't go away. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. Family run for over 88 years, Frentz Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Frentz Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Frentz Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Frentz Hardware. And I just want to let you know that I have the acronym for our Entrepreneurs Network. We call ourselves SNOBs. And SNOB stands for Sharing and Networking Opportunity to Build Your Own Business and also earn extra income as you build your relationships. In fact, we started a program that I like best described as a referral associate or ambassador program. In other words, if you will refer people that you feel might benefit one of our other fellow entrepreneurs, rather than just getting a box of chocolates or a handshake or a what a boy type compliment, you actually can earn extra income. If you're interested, I'll be delighted to talk to you if you will call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. Better yet, I'd like to give you my fax number, rather than an email, because quite frankly I've been hacked several times and it's not a fun experience. My fax number is 248-626-1215. Again, 248 626-1215. If I've got you confused with all these numbers and stuff, call my toll-free number. Be glad to talk to you, whatever's on your mind, at 888-489-8980. That's good. 24 hours a day. Ideally, when you call, give me a couple of times that are convenient for you, for me to call you back, or one of our associates. You could be one of our associates. I've had associates make more income part-time just referring contacts they have to the appropriate entrepreneurs than they make on their regular day job. And here's the beautiful part, folks. You don't have to quit your job. If you're getting a decent salary, or if it's not that decent, you can actually earn income only because you've connected people. And the acronym of sharing is the magic word, as Groucho Marx used to say. The truth of it is that there are so many people that you know that may share with you some of the challenges they have, and all they need is someone like Matt Jobb that we just interviewed, who can help them overcome that challenge. Do you know what one of the biggest problems entrepreneurs make? Is that they want to be the Lone Ranger without Tonto. It's not good. You should stay in your own lane. Find out what really gets you excited. And if you are fortunate enough, like I have, I'm very happy doing the show, conducting the Entrepreneur Network meetings. I've joined up with a Rotary Club and the actual Optimist Club, and they have over 1 million members all over the world. It's called connections and networking, and you can have the best of all worlds. You not only extend your relationship with people that are really giving type people. You don't have these type of organizations exist because they're out to hustle unscrupulously. You have these organizations that give because they want to give back to this wonderful country. I am so pleased that I'm able to promote the whole spirit of entrepreneurship. America, no matter what our politicians are trying to do, is still number one in terms of what a society can do. I've heard it said in frustrating type ways, we are really the last hope of true capitalism. And if capitalism turns you off, let me tell you from personal experience, after having been through the Holocaust and living and having to run in socialist type environments, there ain't no comparison. And I speak a good English. It is true, today we have so many complications. Sad part is our politicians have lost, since we talked about focus, they lost their focus. Many of them. There's some good ones, but most of them are off track. You cannot be successful in life if you go off track and get into somebody else's lane. You'll get run over. Well, with that bright thought, I'd like to part company for today with my favorite entrepreneurial thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.